week, and then everything kind of imploded at my house. So like, okay, well, we're not able to do anything this week, so we'll try again this coming week. But no, it looks really really cool. I mean, everything about it is really beautiful. Even the packaging in the box is, it just looks really sharp. So yeah,
Sweet.
It's well thought out. It's easy to play. The age range on the box is perfect. Sometimes they give you an age range and it's not quite, your kids might be a little too old or too young, even though it says their age on the box. Now, this one was like dead on. Hunter was able to pretty much set up the board all by himself, and he's turning 8 this year. So he was like perfect age for it.
Great.
Yeah, he had a great time with it.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, and our people are commenting. That must mean we're
Already.
Live. Also probably because I pushed the go live button.
You're so sneaky.
So sneaky.
And Jane is lurking in the comments over here. She just can't be with us because she's on vacation.
Oh, nice. With as many pictures as I see of her in the campground with her camper, I feel like she's always on vacation. I'm like, that's amazing.
No, she's the epitome of work hard, play hard.
Okay.
I mean, I get some messages from her after she gets off work and she is just beat tired, and she still manages to pound out the words. She still manages to write twice as fast as I do.
That's
like,
incredible.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Yeah, that is determination.
Well, welcome everyone to another Spilling Ink, and of course we're live. We're always live now. I can't get it out of my head though that I need to keep saying the word live.
Like saying it.
It must be like fantastic. That's like my word. I will say fantastic over and over and over again. I just love it. Well, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and if you're listening to this as a podcast, we aren't live. I don't have that capability, but it's still going to be fun anyway. So we are here tonight with the beautiful, the magnificent, the sensual Agent Borne. And we're going to find out why he's called Agent Borne here pretty quickly, too.
I knew you were talking about him. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't be talking about me. You had to be talking about him.
I don't know if beautiful is the right word. Or sensual.
Sensual, yes. I mean, look at that face. Oh, all right, ladies, anyone who's watching, we need a poll here. Do we think that Agent Borne is beautiful or sensual even? So weigh in. Give us your votes here. I'm talking to you, Rebecca.
I'm a little scared to see
here.
Answers to that.
But Julia's always nice. She'll say something nice.
Now,
Rebecca, you never know what's going to happen with Rebecca.
Julia just had a birthday, so shout out to Julia. Happy birthday, lady.
Oh, happy birthday, Julie. We're very, very happy for you. Turning the big 25 at last. That's awesome.
I always like to call it anything after the 20th birthday is the anniversary of. So, your 5th anniversary of your 20th birthday. It sounds so much better.
Yes. Okay. I like it. I'm not sure what's going on here with cat butt stickers, but I would like a cat butt sticker.
There's one coming up right there.
Prior to coming on the show, I was discussing with our merchandising lady, Rebecca, about some options for the store.
Oh, okay.
I like that word.
Effervescent.
That is a good word.
Ooh, like one of those tablets you drop into the water. Alka-Seltzer. Yeah. Yes.
Wait a second.
Here we go.
You have better eyelashes than me, damn it.
Sensually handsome.
Look at those eyelashes. Wow.
Anita, I can connect you with him after the show. We just
I am married, so
damn it. Oh, why are all the sensuously handsome ones married?
We get snatched up quick.
So Derek, for those out there who, and I'm sure it's only like one person in the universe who don't know who you are, tell us who you are and why you are Agent Borne.
I'm sure there's some that have never heard of me before. But before I begin, Katie, should I do what I sent you earlier?
I think
yes.
You
Considering there is a movie that just came out and it's predecessor was a couple years ago, I thought I would do a little spilling ink, spilling ink. We talk books and the writing craft. Spilling ink, spilling ink. We're here to help you on your author path. And just to warn you, there's a chance we might digress, but that's okay. We'll blame it on Jason anyway.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet, but I thought, hey, why not?
I did just see it, and I have to say the music is not as good. I was slightly
No.
I heard
disappointed.
that.
of course it's not as good. It's a sequel. It
But
can't
I
be
was
as
hoping
good.
for another breakout. You know, the Let It Go. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing that song.
That's
So I
an
figured
feature.
they were going to do it again, but
Well, you know what's interesting though, and I just read another article about it today. I read them back after the first Frozen came out, that a lot of people in the LGBTQ community were kind of Julia says yes, yeah, that was a beautiful song, Derek. We're really relating to Elsa and the song "Let It Go" because it's really talking about being who you really are and breaking free of all these chains that are around you.
Yep.
And then in Frozen 2, I can't remember the name of the song, but it was another song that was similar. That's more about owning who you are and being yourself. And so I think that the songs had some. I mean, it was really good content, but they just didn't have the oomph. Yeah, they didn't quite get it. I mean, it's like if you go back and watch Aladdin or The Little Mermaid, and you're like, holy shit, those were songs right there. Ones you'd have in your head for a year.
although I have to say the 80s power ballad that they tried to do with Kristoff in Frozen 2 was very entertaining.
Wait, what?
They went full on 80s.
Oh my lord.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, you have to watch. It's like they tried to put a music video into the cartoon.
Okay, I can dig it.
It was interesting.
They tried. They tried too hard with some of that stuff. I'll tell you what, they really did. And I love Disney movies, man. I watch them. I will watch them all day long. Oh man, but yeah, it was just there was a lot of stuff that just seemed really forced in it. Like how they got to quick, I've got to wrap up the ending here and make everything nice and tight and neat and pretty. And I'm like, no, that doesn't fit with what's going on here. Come on, let them all freaking die. It's okay.
Oh no, wait, no, that's Don Bluth you're thinking about.
Wipe the slate clean.
Yeah.
No, it was Don Bluth who made you cry. I go back and I watch like All Dogs Go to Heaven with my kids, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so sad. It was like my favorite movie.
But we didn't know it was so sad back then.
we
thought it was a cartoon
in like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
And then I go back and watch like Land Before Time, and I'm going,
yeah.
Oh, Land Before Time. With the tree stars and Littlefoot. Yeah. Oh my god, that's right. Sharp Tooth.
Or how about The American Tail?
Yeah, I didn't really like The American Tail.
Philly Mouskowitz.
No.
All right, what about Thumbelina? Don Bluth, he was a master.
That's bad too.
His movies were gorgeous.
No. Where was the Rat King from?
That's Secret of Nim.
That's
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That was cool. I remember thinking that was really scary when I was young.
That one was Don Bluth too, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you wanted to cry as a kid, you watched Don Bluth. You wanted happy, you watched Disney.
Yeah. Now, did you notice that I kind of skimmed over, like didn't even get to why people should know who I am? We just kind of...
Oh, wait, let's go back to that. So
Agent... got off track.
That's why I'm called Agent Borne.
That was pretty slick. That was smooth.
Just a little deflection there.
So why are you called Agent Borne? Or you could just sit up and we could see your shirt there, since I know you're wearing an Ultimate Agency shirt.
I have a book series called The Ultimate Agent. There are 2 main novels. There's also a set of a mini series. They're all short stories where the superheroes have actually come across different monsters from a scientific angle, though. So you got Bigfoot, you got Mothman, Loch Ness Monster, Michigan Dogman, We also have The Kraken, just came out a couple months ago, and I'm about to release them, coming into the dire situation of a Minotaur.
Ooh.
So not quite
That's
from
cool.
Greek mythology, but a different play on it.
Okay.
I like it. I like how you're tackling all these cryptids. That's fun.
Hey, I thought, why not? It kind of, and each one has a different reason why they are the way they are, or even where they came from.
Well, strategically, not only are the short stories fun, but strategically, I think it was a really smart decision on your part, because not everybody can publish a novel every 6 weeks like Katie Salidas up there.
Yeah.
So for those of us that it takes a little bit longer, having these short stories in between, I mean, are you finding that your fan base has been more engaged when they have more things to read like that?
I would say so. And the fact that it's still fun being able to put something in, say, an earlier one and then have it pay off in a later one, even though it's all different monsters, they still have their own little storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Mothman, I have it where one of the characters is drugged up and he just starts spewing nonsense. And he basically says, well, I could totally go for a lasagna smoothie right now. I mean, he's drugged. And for me,
Okay.
I love food, so I'm thinking, yeah, why not? So when the Minotaur gets released, I'm planning on having a Facebook Live where I actually go and take lasagna, blend it up into a smoothie. But I also make reference back to it in Minotaur, in the Kraken as well.
Little Easter eggs.
Yeah, just little fun stuff like that. And the readers, they keep going, so lasagna smoothie is probably one of the best parts of your whole miniseries.
Now, let me ask, are your books still traveling the country, and are you still getting pictures of them from different parts?
So, interestingly enough, my parents actually just surprised my wife and I with a trip to Italy in May.
What?
And I had no idea what to say because I wasn't even expecting it.
Montebello.
But exactly. And we're landing in Rome, and one of the chapters in the first book is at the Colosseum. So I'm taking a book with me. I'm getting my picture. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Dude, congratulations. That's freaking
cool.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
So cool.
It was a huge, well, for those who don't know, my grandfather passed away in April, the one that used to take me on trips all the time. And so my parents got, a little bit of inheritance, and they said, you know what, this is what your grandpa would want. And we just love traveling with you guys, so let's go. So
I think that's an excellent way to honor his memory.
Yeah. He did a lot for me. I was very close with him.
That's amazing. I'm glad that you got to have that relationship with him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
he always had a joke. One of his favorites to say was, I used to date a girl. Every night before bed, she would brush her hair 8 times, and the next night she'd do the other leg.
Nice.
Good clean fun.
I love it. I love dad jokes. Those are always
yes.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
I bought my boy a book of just basically they're dad jokes, but they're clean jokes for kids.
Yeah.
And he will do, a comedy styling stand-up routine where he reads off the jokes one by one. I haven't quite figured out the timing, but it's hilarious because Zoe thinks that it's like a contest that she has to come up with the right answer. So he'll start the joke and she will come up with something absolutely crazy to say, and then he'll finish the joke. So you're laughing either way.
That's
nice.
I could picture this happening too. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So tell me, where is the coolest place your book has traveled?
Ooh, in the last book, well, because from book 1 to book 2, a couple of characters are kind of in the journey of about to get married. So even in Minotaur, I have it where, of course, they go to Greece because I actually didn't know, but Greece is actually pretty big for, wedding dresses. Has some of the best wedding dress shops in the world.
That doesn't surprise me.
So I thought, yeah, you know what? It might be a little convenient, but a Minotaur in Greece, you have to.
It is kind of fitting.
Yeah.
I heard the Greeks are a little bit crazy too. That's what I hear. They're very
Can be.
fiery, and you don't want to piss them off, whatever you do.
Yeah. But of course, when it came to that in the research, I, of course, had to go on to and see, okay, so what are they best known for food? And put that in there. So
Gyros?
Heroes. Actually, what else did I put in there? It was...
Because I love those.
That's good stuff. Yes.
Olga's Kitchen, man.
Heroes, you've got, of course, good olive oil. And tomato keftes is what I looked up. Tomato keftes was basically just, it's almost like falafel, but tomatoes. It's breaded. It's like a little puck, and they're supposed to be some of the best things in Greece.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if I ever go to Greece, which, gosh, I sure hope I do, I will have to try. Well, I will try everything. I'll spend the whole time just eating. It's so good.
Of course.
Nothing
I
wrong with that.
now have to work out a ton just so we can eat pasta 24/7 in Italy and pizza.
Katie, are you wearing a Jedi sweatshirt over there?
I am wearing my Rebels sweatshirt.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's got the Rebels.
Awesome.
Yes, it's my comfy. We're in hoodie weather now.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. The summer sun is gone. It's starting to cool off. This is my favorite time of year.
What's hoodie weather out there? What? How hot is it right now?
Look, anything below 70.
Because we got two different ideas here.
Anything below 70 for me is chilly. So yeah. Well, I'm in the desert.
That is Canadian spring. Come on.
Right?
That's shorts weather.
That's like
I spent the entire summer in 120-degree heat, guys.
Oh.
I'm ready for the chill. In fact, my family's been arguing with me over the heater. They're like, turn it on. I'm like, no, I want to be cold.
Oh, well, Julia says it snowed on my birthday. Yes, it snowed hard here earlier this month. And thankfully it's gone for the moment. But and Julia, I just sent your books your way at the whatchamacallit, the place where you go, where you put a
Post
package.
office?
Yes, post office. There you go.
Tell him it was fun to watch him
Yes,
try.
yes. Oh, and actually, I have it right here. It's the brand new book. Ooh, yes.
How do I get one of those?
Oh, yes.
I need that in my life.
Yes, it's delicious. It's delicious. Yes. So on I don't even know when it comes out anymore. January 16th or something like that. But yeah. So I got. Wait. Julia's saying shh. There's like 12 H's in there. You guys can't have it. You cannot have it. It's not for you.
Wait a second.
No, it's just for Daddy Jason. Yes. Oh, secrets. I like how she adds the extra letters. They're more fun to say that way.
In cap too.
Yeah. Yes. I could picture. It's aggressive shushing.
Secrets.
Yes. Oh, that was good. Who did that? Was that you, Katie?
Nope.
Wow. That was you.
That was me.
That was really good, Derek.
Thank you.
Nice.
I pride myself on voices.
You did. Wait, what was it?
Kermit the Frog.
You did Morgan Freeman one time.
Oh yes.
You're doing a reading as Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
It was
Freeman.
a really good voice too.
Do
yeah,
we know?
I don't think a lot of people liked me after I did that because I turned the camera on my computer so no one could see me.
Oh, that's right.
That was a long time
I
ago.
remember that.
Yeah,
I was frustrated about that.
I think
was
people
like,
actually thought I was serious.
Yes.
I'm
You were
going,
like-
do you really think I could actually make a connection with Morgan Freeman?
Well, you're Canadian. I mean,
He's not though.
Oh, I don't know.
People going off that whole the Canadians are so nice. They're friends with everybody, right?
Nah, yeah, not everybody.
They're so cool.
I had bullies in school. I had bullies.
What? No.
Yeah.
Were they American?
No.
Oh.
Wait, okay,
Wow.
so explain a Canadian bully to me.
Okay, so he was from grade 5 to grade 9. Made fun of me simply for just my religion.
Wow.
Well, that's not nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think his family had some
Just
issues.
shattered my whole perception of Canada now.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter where you live; you're going to find it somewhere.
That's
ultimately. So
unfortunately.
There are assholes everywhere. And you know what? I mean, I just read
not to Jason's comment. I'm going gay to the left.
No, well,
sorry.
No, I don't know either way.
Just to clarify.
You know, and I read a memoir. I don't know if it was earlier this year or last year now, that was written by a Canadian woman, and in it she was talking about some of the bullying she endured when she was in grade school, and then in high school. There's somebody had actually lit her hair on fire as she was trying to run away from him. It's like, holy shit, that's bad.
Wow.
That's American bullying right there. Yes. What are we talking about tonight, guys? I mean,
well, I think we were going to talk about the opposite of bullying and how the indie community is just so awesome.
That's it.
I like it. Wait, but can somebody please tell me who is Rajin? Because I don't know that I know.
I think he pre-ordered your book.
He pre-ordered your book. He's on our YouTube feed. Are you able to see the YouTube comments, Jason, or is it just
me? Yes. But okay. I'm not familiar with Rajin, so I didn't know if that's someone we know on Facebook or that's affiliated with the show at all. If not, welcome. It's great to have you, and thank you for pre-ordering my book. You're gonna love it.
He was in our last week's feed too.
Okay,
watching us from YouTube.
Okay, awesome, cool. Well, Regine, you're getting all sorts of airtime now, but I just wanted to say thank you. And I hope we get to.
Familiar. I remember that from Joshua's show.
Baby Eating Psychopath.
Yep.
Baby Eating Regine is mine. Is that one of your pseudonyms, Rebecca? Huh. Okay. I'm confused about this, but so we're talking about how, say, if you have one person bullying a group of people, like, you know, say Captain Trainwreck up there is just bullying the hell out of us all the time because she thinks that she's better than us, you know, and how the indie community comes to support us and help get us through it.
Yeah.
Something like that. What?
We've lost him again.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
where were you going?
I don't even know.
Still trying to figure out who Regine is.
Regine is Rebecca Jones's husband. I see. Oh, that makes sense. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, back to you, Katie.
Back on track.
So this was a mystery. I was waiting for them to respond. Yes, bullying frickin' sucks, guys. Don't do it. Don't be an asshole under any circumstances. Just don't do it. And I think that by and large, we see a lot of support in the indie community. I think. I mean, I think the three of us, I think that we run in pretty good groups. Mm-hmm. But I know that there has been a significant amount of shade that's been thrown back and forth between people or groups of people in the indie community. I don't hear about it that often. I think the last big thing I heard about was the whole Cockygate thing. Have there been any other major blow-ups since then that we know about?
Been a couple of blips, but Cockygate's an excellent example of how the indie community really came together, and you don't mess with romance because romance, they don't play.
No, they're scary.
You know, they all came together to handle business and get things taken care of and get the authors that were unfortunately, you know, sent the cease and desist letters and had their books taken down. They were there to back them up and to make things as right as they possibly could. And to a smaller scale, when you find your indie tribe, you know, your niche in the larger indie community, you've got people who've got your back, whether it be advice, whether it be beta reading, or, you know, helping you get to that next step in publishing, or helping you find another publisher that you might want to work with. It's important to have that tribe of people to kind of lean on when you need to, and that support system to help cheer you on, especially when publishing gets tough, and we all know it does.
We had a guest on. The years are running together. I mean, now, Katie, I'm old, but I think it was last year, and she was talking a lot about that, about mental health and about having your tribe, and how we don't have to be liked by everyone. We really don't, but it's important to have a group of people that you can always rely on, that you can say, hey, I'm just having a shit day and I don't know what to do, or I got this problem with this guy or this girl that keeps writing me and they're harassing me. What would you do? And having that group of people, I think, is, after that show, really, that show actually really helped me, because I was kind of lost, thinking, I'm trying to please everybody I can here, and I'm trying to reach out to everybody I can and be accessible to everyone. And I feel like I've spread so thin that I don't have any real human connection out there at all. And so hearing about, finding your core tribe really made a difference for me and my own well-being online, because let's face it, online is a big part of our life when you're doing what we do. So yeah, I think that's super important, Katie. And for anybody out there listening or watching, I know we can just say find your tribe and make it sound simple, but finding your tribe just means finding a few people that you can trust with anything, and using them to bounce ideas or problems or even just good times off of. And man, it sure as hell can make your life a lot better.
Mhm.
Even
And-
once you find the fans who love indie books, like they don't even have to be another indie author, just the indie fans, they get passionate and they will be there for you for whatever you want too. I mean, I've just recently met one who is a teacher, and I never expected her to say, you know what, I love your books, and I'm telling my kids all about your books. So I said, hey, you know what, that's awesome. And I ended up I sent her a book and I said, this can be your class copy.
That's
That's awesome.
Right?
That's very cool.
Like if someone's going to go that far to help you out by spreading your name, then, reciprocate.
Heck yeah. Well,
Mhm.
and that's something to, I'm so glad you said that, because, I'm going to do something bad. I'm going to say normal authors. And when I say normal authors, I'm talking the big name authors that are published by Simon & Schuster and all the big six companies. They have fans. They have a lot of fans, and that's great. I'm a fan of many of them. But indie authors, we have warriors. We have people that will pound the pavement for you and spread the word and tell other people, you gotta try Jason Lavelle. He's amazing. You just have to do it. And I don't think that that's something the mega star authors have, because they can't make the personal connections that we can. But yeah, hell yeah. If somebody's kicking your butt, I don't know. I'm done talking today, Katie. No, if somebody's out there doing a lot for you, by all means reciprocate. I think that's wonderful, Derek. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and that's all part of cultivating your reader base. I don't ever call them fans. I always call them readers, because that's what they are. I want people to read my work, and that's the goal for me. And when people do want to read and they do want to spread the word, I'm the first person to say, hey, do you want an art copy of the next one? Would you like to read this ahead of time? And you can, tell people about it. I have no problem giving away tons of art copies for people who are genuinely excited and want to read the book and are willing to say, hey, I read this. It was all right. Don't even have to say it was great. It was all right. Because I know that they're there, and that word of mouth is just priceless.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I appreciate too the indie authors and fans who will read your work and say if there's a typo or something, they'll send you a little message. Be like, you might just want to go back and just get this little bit here. I appreciate that. As soon as someone picks something out, I go, hey, do you want to be on the art team? Like, and then if they really prove themselves, say, hey, you want to be on the beta team? Like, let's keep you going here.
Yeah, those are great potential beta readers right there. And Katie doesn't like beta readers that will pick out grammar and spelling issues, but I do. Because I know it's one less thing that my editor has to find. If I can fix it before they get a hold of it, that's even better. But I am also not at the level of a Salidas. I mean, she is she is almost to that level we were talking about with the megastars. I mean, she's like right there. She just needs to get just that little bit further.
Man, I wish.
And she won't even talk to us anymore. I mean, she'll be
come
gone.
on now.
You've got like Jeffrey Archer, Michael Crichton, Katie Salidas.
That would be the dream. No, I'm the one at midnight trying to reach out to my tribe, going, guys, I need somebody to talk to. I mean, just last night, I think it was 2:00 in the morning my time. I'm messaging Rebecca because I needed somebody to talk to. I couldn't sleep. I was having problems going through my revisions. I just needed a friend, damn it.
And that's important. And Rebecca is a great person to have in your tribe. She is. I mean, she's very crass, which I love about her, which I think that some people would be like, holy shit, what's happening? But she's amazing. She's a wonderful human being. And she's just great. And now she's talking shit about me. There we go. Rebecca says, Jason Lavelle is such a liar. I'm one of her beta readers. Shit. Now I'm hoping she doesn't mind me pointing out the spelling mistakes. I can't even read Rebecca.
What's in your smoothie?
Am I what?
In your smoothie?
Well, I'm starting to wonder here, man. I don't know. The McDonald's drive-thru did kind of smell like weed, so who knows what the hell is in this thing.
All right.
But I did.
Maybe.
There.
But I did want to say, because Julia had made a really nice comment to me, that she has adopted me as her brother, and Julia, I love you, and I do think of you as a sister, and I really, really appreciate having you on my side for when I freak out and inevitably need somebody to cry to. Uh-oh. I forgot Rebecca's husband is watching this. Crass? No. What? What are you talking about?
Uh-oh.
He's a big dude too, I think, isn't he? All I know is he's ex-military and he's not allowed to say where he went or who he saw. So I'm thinking like Sniper. Yeah. Like Bones, like Agent Booth on Bones. No, did you guys not watch Bones?
I've never watched Bones.
Oh my Lord. Well, I'll tell you what. that show, there's like 800 seasons of it, but it's super interesting because you have a forensic anthropologist, which the show's interpretation is she takes dead bodies and figures out what happens to them based on what their bones look like. Okay, great. It's really interesting. And Booth is the ex-military character that, kind of provides the, I don't know, dumbass to her smart person. And there is some problematic language in it. There's some language that's not very up to the times as far as being friendly to different groups of people. But the show is very, very interesting. So, if you ever happen upon it on Amazon Prime, it's very interesting.
I am watching Lost on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you started down the Lost funnel.
I'd never watched it before, so I'm going, hey, why not?
Nice.
Everyone, I post on Facebook, and it was either half was like, it's a great show, the other half going, first 4 seasons were good, and then it just went downhill.
I think I watched 2 seasons, and for whatever reason, I was so broke back then I probably lost my cable or something, and then I never picked it back up. So I have no idea where anything ends up in that show. But then Rebecca has confirmed that her husband is an ex-sniper and that he could be watching Derek Borne right this minute. Don't.
What's that red light?
I'm not hiding the Bigfoot, I swear.
Just for a second, I want to backtrack to something that Jason said. Was you're talking about you and Julia being like brother and sister, and back to a previous episode long time ago where we were talking about the stress and the mental illness that sometimes is associated with being an artist. If you've got your tribe, you should always be checking on them. Yeah. I know, Jason, if I don't hear from you for a while, I usually send you a quick message. Hey, dude, how's it going? What's up? Yeah. You always check on your friends because you never know what they're going through, and they may not want to burden somebody else with their problems. But if you're in their tribe, that's part of the gig. You're there. You tell me what's going on. I'll be your ear when you need to vent.
That's what being a human's all about.
Yeah.
Be there for the other person. Humans were meant to be social.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
and I think that I think that we all you see there's different levels to this. And I apparently am drunk on whatever is in the strawberry shake at McDonald's in Michigan, but I'll try to form these thoughts as coherently as I can.
I
You
really
know,
need to visit Michigan now.
right. Do whatever you want here. We don't care, man. You know, so I think that, you know, checking on your friends, checking on your tribe, it's so very important, and it's also can be so difficult when you're trying to deal with your own problems. When you realize that, okay, I just resurfaced after 2 weeks of, you know, being depressed or being or being super angry about something or losing my job or whatever it was, and now I'm back and ready to interact with people. But you know, in those 2 weeks, you know, some of my friends might have really needed me. And I'm not suggesting that we should feel guilty about needing our space and needing time to recover ourselves. But one thing that can be very helpful, at least to me, and this is just my experience, when I'm having a meltdown or a mental breakdown of some sort, if I know that a friend needs help and I can just focus on trying to talk to them and trying to help their situation, it really helps to take my mind off of what I'm going through. And in the end, maybe that shortens the amount of time that I'm down. So you're doing something really good for someone else, and it might help you a little bit too. So that's like the small scale, about how it's sometimes difficult to check on your friends. But larger scale, we are in a really strange place in America, at least. I can't speak to anywhere else around the world, but where half of our country not only doesn't care about the other half, but really hates the other half of the country. And it makes it really difficult for us to be good human beings.
Yeah.
Like Derek was saying, if we're focused on hate and negative all the frickin' time, and it's exhausting. It's so tiring. And, you know, if we could all just be like, you know, Agent Bourne up there in Canada, loving everybody all the time, we would be a much happier place. And yes, I ended that with kind of a stupid.
Not stupid.
Oh, I think he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. He was doing so good.
Dang it, we kept him on track for so long.
Oh.
But he's right though about the checking on other people. It's not only, you know, good for you to check on your friends on that level of helping others sometimes stops you from your own issues. It's that distraction, but it's also caring for somebody else. And there's a lacking of that level of caring going on right now. So just being there for somebody else, even if it's just to say, hey, I know you're going through something and I'm an ear if you need me, just making the offer so that the other person knows you're there. Yeah. That can sometimes be enough.
Exactly. I mean, I've been through depression myself. Thankfully not for too long, but you know, the tribe is very important. You know, if you just tell them what's going on, some people just don't want to, like Jason was saying, they just don't want to say anything about it. But you have to talk about it. We missed you.
Sorry about that. All of a sudden my internet just went completely flat. Oh, I don't know. Was I in the middle of talking when I disappeared?
You're kind of making a little face. Yeah. It was perfect.
Nice.
A little blue steel going on.
Did I finish saying anything relevant, or did I?
You were getting so profound.
God damn it!
And then it just
damn it.
It's gone. The moment is gone.
Damn it. The end thing is we spend a lot of time spreading hate, and we spend very little spreading love around. We gotta freaking change that. So yes, talk about it. What are we talking about?
Everyone's making fun of my Canadian accent. You know what I think it is? I think Americans think that we say a boot, and so when we say about, all they hear is a boot. And I think it's just it's in everyone's
Let's
ears.
guys, we need to love Derek even when he's saying the wrong thing.
I need my
Wait,
pride.
Wait, we're gonna put the positive spin on that. We, as
I love
people in general,
boots.
not just Americans,
I love
we are
boots too.
fascinated by other people's accents.
But
I know I can listen to people from different countries talk all day long just because I love the way their accent sounds to my ears.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to hearing just standard American accent.
Yeah.
So I think it's just an appreciation for the nuances that Canadians add to words that we both speak.
Let me just put it this way. I like to talk about boots.
Okay. What about quarters? Do you like to talk about quarters?
Quarters?
No, you don't do it.
No.
We had a friend that was from Wisconsin or Minnesota. I don't know, one of those states out there, and she did the quarter thing, and I was like,
Quarter.
oh my god, it's the best. Every time she said it, I couldn't help it.
Well, it's funny whenever I watch your guys' episodes and my wife's sitting beside me, not to make fun of Jason at all, but my wife always chuckles when you say fantastic.
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 I love that word. It's my favorite.
It's awesome.
It's fantastic.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what we were talking about, but Katie is right.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. It's kind of like British, Australian, Canadian mixed.
Yeah, it was an interesting meld.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I appreciate accents. Like I said, I can
Oh, me
listen to it all day long.
Oh.
I think it's fascinating to see how people say different things.
Oh yeah, my wife loves Australian accents. Men
Oh.
are women. She's just like just wants to hear them, and I'm like, yeah, they're pretty freaking awesome.
Stop watching Chris Hemsworth on YouTube.
Yeah, right. No.
I put a call out to Wilson, get him back on the show again. I can listen to him talk all day too.
Oh, I never got to talk to Wilson. He was on the show on a day that I wasn't here. Yep.
We'll have to get him back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I get a customer at our vendor location, and the one time there was a British family that came in, and I have my samples of olive oil and balsamic. So the daughter walks up, and she goes, "Do you literally just drink it?" I'm going,
what?
Yeah, you can. She goes, "Do you literally just drink it?" Like, drink olive oil. I go, "Yeah, you drink it, and can you stay for half an hour?" Just so I can hear you talk.
No, I thought I thought you were gonna make it a bathroom joke, like you drink the olive oil and then you're gonna have to go to the bathroom very soon.
Well,
within a half an hour.
It does help with that, but
yeah. Oh my gosh, we've got so many comments on here. Uh-oh, my wife is online.
See, we're all fascinated by accents.
Yep. Yeah. It was actually a lot of fun in writing my Loch Ness short story of actually writing the Scottish character with a Scottish accent. I actually had to refer to a Scottish author who lives in Korea. Just sent it to her. She says, "Okay, yeah, you kind of got it going pretty good here." Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's hard to write.
Yeah.
I've been working on one, just couple of chapters in a book with an Irish fae, and I'm trying to get the dialect and trying to spell it so that it sounds right when you read it. And I swear those chapters are the longest and hardest chapters for me to write because you want to nail it. And then when you read it again, you're like, it doesn't sound right either. And then you'll go too far, and people who you give to me to read it, they'll be like, I have no clue what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
actually spent a lot of time watching David Tennant interviews on YouTube.
Oh, I love him.
Me too. And it's just, some of the words he says, everything, then he says everything. So it's either one or the other. So you kind of have to pick and choose.
He goes back and forth with his accents, though, depending on where he's filming. So if you get him in the full Scottish, then you get all of that. Whereas if he's trying to do a more British accent in different parts of the UK, they just like the US, we all speak differently depending on what part of the country we're from.
Yeah.
Although I think that the Southwest is pretty darn close to Michigan. Like our accents are pretty much identical. There's only a couple things that you say differently. Like you don't say pop, do you? Do you say pop or soda?
I say pop.
Soda.
Okay, and we're pop up here, but otherwise, dialect wise, I think we're nearly identical. But we do have, and Julie actually said this, that you should hear the Yooper accent, and the Yoopers are the people who live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and they are very different. Yes, it's as different from the Lower Peninsula as it is if you went like to Tennessee from up here and heard a Southern accent. It's that different. Wait. What did Rebecca say?
Because I said that
nailing it hard.
Was long and hard. Yeah, that was it.
That's all it takes, guys.
So Rebecca, you beta read that I think that whole book. Did I nail it?
I think you nailed it hard.
Yeah, did I nail it hard?
Well, speaking of these crazy accents too, who's watching The Mandalorian?
I don't have Disney Plus yet.
Oh, Derek.
See, Disney Plus only matters once Marvel stuff goes on.
It is
to me, anyway. All the Marvel stuff?
The Marvel
no, but I mean like the shows that Disney and Marvel are making.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta
because I've already seen all the movies.
Yeah, you've got a ways to go. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because what is it? Loki's and Black Widows and
Black Widow's the movie, Loki's the show. They're doing a Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
Okay.
They're also doing a Marvel What If cartoon where it's basically what if Agent Carter actually took the super soldier serum.
Oh, nice.
Or what if T'Challa was actually taken by the Ravagers and became Star-Lord.
Interesting.
And they're also doing the Marvel Zombies with that too.
Okay. That'll be
so that's
cool.
gonna be interesting.
Excellent.
And Hawkeye's getting a show too. Is that what she's saying?
Hawkeye's getting the show, and there is the WandaVision.
WandaVision. I heard that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah,
they're going 56-ish with that one.
Yeah,
because it's like all in her mind.
Yeah, because I mean, Vision's technically dead, but it's her mind recreating because her powers are all about altering reality. That it's just going to be she's created her own reality, basically, and you're going to see her. Well, not that I really know anything about it, but I think we're going to see her just crumble into essentially what her character became in the comics, where she went crazy, and actually there was the storyline where she said, "No more mutants," and there were actually no more mutants at all in Marvel. Basically, all the mutants lost their abilities.
Wow.
Just to that degree in the MCU. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's going through a little dementia, only self-imposed.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm very curious. I'm very excited.
Well, you're missing out with The Mandalorian though, because that's a pretty cool show.
I've heard.
It's adorable. It's absolutely
I've seen all the memes with Baby Yoda. So
Baby Yoda is the best. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Even though it's not really Yoda.
But they don't tell us what a species is, so the only thing we have to go off of is Yoda, and I think was it Yaddle is the female that was on the Jedi Council. That's it. So we have nothing else to go off of. So of course we're going to call it Baby Yoda until we get confirmation.
That's its official species now, is Baby Yoda.
Yep. Baby Yoda.
Yeah. No, it is adorable. No, I've really been enjoying it, and I don't know why so my favorites in Star Wars in recent years have been Rogue One, which I talk about all the time because Rogue One was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And then I absolutely love the Mandalorian for the same reason. It has that same kind of feel to me, Derek. It's a storyline that we think is going to be familiar, but we get to see it in a different way, and we get to know some really cool characters. And I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it. And Joe Compton, if you're out there, you can probably help me say what I'm trying to say here. The Star Wars movies, like the last couple, Star Wars movies, I don't know. They just no, and they felt different than movies like Rogue One or shows like The Mandalorian. It's just they weren't that satisfying, and like I said, I can't wrap my head around why I don't love them. Because, all right, I really love the Star Wars franchise. I think it's a really great, cool story that spans hundreds and hundreds of years. And I don't know why I'm just not loving these new movies more than I am, because I love the cast. I think they've got a great cast, but or I don't know if it's the writing or the filmmaking or what they're doing. But you're taking my headphones.
I have a feeling
taking my headphones.
You want the nostalgia, but what you feel like you're getting is the discount version, even though it's not cheaply made. But you're seeing the same storylines with different characters being played out with very similar plot lines. And so you, in your mind, you've been there, you've done that, and you're seeing it with the wrong faces. And so it's not connecting you the way it did in your youth, because you grew up with that story, you grew up with those characters, and now it's just the same old, but not the same people you love.
Okay. No, I can get behind that. You know, I was really disappointed in the first Star Wars movie that had Rey. I can't remember what her name is in real life. Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley.
Because I think that she was a cool, intense character, but the bad guy was the same. I mean, it was just the Death Star again. I mean, I'm like, come on, guys.
First Order is still the Empire.
I mean,
Death Star, Death Moon, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. It's nothing new. The only new faces.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I said walking out of the theater. I just said, okay, how can we up the ante? A bigger Death Star.
and what really killed me when I was trying to get excited for this third movie coming out, when they're like, the Emperor is alive and coming back. It's like, are you kidding me? Come on, guys.
Well, there's a reason why, though. And from what I understand from the mythos and books and stuff, was it Anakin? Anakin was actually conceived from the Force, right?
Okay.
And George Lucas actually took a lot from the Bible, like how Jesus was, what's the term? He was born immaculately or whatever.
Immaculate conception.
Immaculate conception. I can't think of words now.
I'm rubbing off.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
It's the Force Imforculous conception.
Yeah. So from
midichlorians.
And I've heard this rumor out there where they think that with Anakin, that happening with him was basically the Emperor's test to see if he can prolong his life by having himself reborn any number of times. Because we still don't know who Rey's parents are.
Well, that goes back to the whole mythos about Darth Sidious, I think it was, who was the original trying to, Yeah. So I guess, but it seems so cheap to me, though. Like they hyped it up so much, and it's like, it's the Emperor again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could be wrong. It could be great.
Never know.
I hope I'm wrong.
Well, and Carol, Julia's sister, has said that there's too many new characters without the emotional connection there, and I agree, and I think that that's true of characters even when they're a big part of a movie. If there's no emotional connection, or in a book, then you don't care as much. Like for me, even though the Emperor was in, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he was a big part of the Empire. I don't have any kind of emotional connection to the Emperor. I really don't care about him as a character. I don't have good backstory on him. I don't have any sympathy for him. He had no love interest. He had no tragedy. Nothing except for being an evil mother. And I won't say those words because we have a Canadian here, but but then you get into Darth Vader, and all of a sudden there's huge backstory, and we can really connect with this character. And so at the end of a certain movie that I've talked too much about, when he's standing on the edge of the ship and the lightsabers go, and I'm like, oh, Darth. And I just
have a redemption arc too, which we love to root for redemptions.
Yes, and the Emperor, none of that at all. He is just you remember when we had that show where we were talking about antagonists and villains?
Mhm.
He's just a villain to me. That's it. He's just the bad guy in the sky with no reason. Kind of like Thanos was the bad guy in the sky with no reason for a dozen movies before we started to get introduced to his backstory and why he existed, and he became an actual character to me.
Yeah, and
but
we're
yes.
getting more backstory on him when the Eternals movie comes out.
Oh, excellent. No, he was a good character. A character that's almost unstoppable. Almost. And you have to have that almost, I think. But yeah. Yes, Julia, he's just a but he's very cute, and I like his white headphones. He's nice, so we should be gentle with him. He is Canadian after all. He can't take it like we can. Yeah,
I'm out.
Oh no! Wow, good job, Jason. Good job.
Well, all right. So I actually have a writing related question, sort of. I guess I don't know. What do you think about going to the bed? No, I'm not going to talk about that, Katie. I'm just kidding. So you've been. I'm assuming you've been researching cryptids,
I have.
because you've been writing about them. What do you think is the most frightening cryptid that you've come across for any reason? Be it, that maybe this is possibly real, or that the scaries are just so terrifying. The stories are just so terrifying. I don't even know anymore.
You're on fire tonight, Jason.
Oh, I'm so freaking tired.
Language. We have a Canadian here.
Yeah. Frickin's all right. I use that in my books. I would have to say the scariest one. Honestly, it's a tie between the Wendigo and Chupacabra. Because if you ever see artists' renderings of a Chupacabra, I'm going, I don't want to meet that in a dark alley.
Have you seen the ones with like the spines coming up its back?
It's weird. So weird. Yeah,
the Chupacabra and Wendigo, those are the ones that I would pick out too. Funny enough, even though I live right by where the melon heads started, and the melon heads
I remember you mentioning that.
Oh man, that's scary stuff. But the Chupacabra and the Wendigo, those are two that, if I suspend just a little bit of my skepticism, I can actually see these creatures being out there in the woods somewhere. I can see it. And the stories about them are terrifying, and there's so many. They're not isolated. There are a ton of stories.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're so freaking scary. And in fact, I just watched an episode of Bones last night about the Chupacabra.
Nice.
Oh, but
although,
those are
they
ones.
really monsters, or are they misunderstood?
Well,
who's to say?
Here's what I think. I have not seen that video, Rebecca. Oh, pop that back up there, will you? Rebecca Jonesy. I've got to remember that there are people on the podcast that have no idea what we're talking about when we're talking about comments. So I've got to read these suckers. Rebecca Jonesy says, "OMG, did you see the horrific Chupacabra caught on video?" I have not, but I will check that out because I love seeing those videos. But no, as far as being monsters, I think that monsters are just things that we don't understand, right?
Exactly.
There's so much of the world that is undocumented, and I think that most of that is under the ocean. But who's to say that there aren't things out there in the woods somewhere? Maybe in Canada, where it's less populated and there are more pine trees. Where there are freaking Wendigos and Chupacabras sucking on goats and sucking people's souls out. I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
Probably in the Saskatchewan territory.
I don't live in Saskatchewan, so I'm good.
Oh, good. That's a territory, right?
Yes.
Okay, good deal.
That's a province, yeah.
I don't know. It's Canada, and I know remarkably little about the rest of the world. Oh, Rebecca Jonesy with another comment. Apparently, when foxes get bad cases of mange, it mangles their front legs. And of course, their fur is spiky along their backs. It was so sad. A whole pack of them who had to be put down. Well, shit, that is sad, actually. Damn, now I regret the saucy voice I put on that.
I was gonna say, is that how Rebecca actually sounds? Like
That is how she sounds, actually. It is. What the chupa queso is
chupa queso?
What is chupa queso? I don't know, but I want it. If I could dip a chip in it, I'm gonna eat that stuff. Yes.
That'll be the next snack of the next Super Bowl.
Oh yes.
Chupa orca.
Oh, no. Now we're getting off completely crazy.
Oh, I see somebody waving in your kitchen, Katie. Who's in there? Is that Zoe?
Little children that are going to be grounded.
Oh no! Little kids, kids, are you watching Disney Plus?
Disperse.
Although, you know, what'd be crazy is if someone went the Sharknado route and did like Chupacabra-nado. Hasn't been done yet.
Hey, you know what? There are no bad ideas.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, that would be an even scarier tornado.
Chupacabra cane. There we go.
Oh, I like
it. That's got a better ring to it. Yeah.
Do you snort it or smoke
Versus
it?
Twin Tornado. Okay, yeah, we've lost it.
Oh,
melted cheese and fried cheese with crumbled cheese on it. Oh my gosh.
God, that sounds amazing.
Oh,
I just got fatter reading that.
Well, did you see what I had for lunch yesterday?
No.
I posted a picture of it. It was a pierogi grilled cheese.
Oh.
It was amazing. No regrets. Food coma was worth it.
Oh yeah, it's just like when you get that Monte Cristo and you're like,
yeah,
I don't even care. Hell yeah, fry that shit.
Yeah.
Oh well, everybody, we are winding down here. As you can tell, we're all getting more relaxed.
But getting back to remember, get your tribe.
That's right.
Tribes are important.
Yes.
Your tribe will keep you laughing.
Yeah. And if your tribe can bring you food, that's even an extra bonus.
I'm so hungry right now. Somebody bring me food.
Again, what was exactly?
I don't know, man.
Oh, no.
Yes, guys.
It was so good.
It was so good.
All right, before we go, Agent Borne, where can we find your books and your merch?
You can find them on Amazon. I actually don't have a site with my merch. I don't know why I'm so behind in the times with that. Although I was very close earlier. I just had to get my wallet. But I'm looking at some Spilling Ink sweaters because they look awesome. Yeah.
And that's all thanks to Rebecca Jonesy. She is our merch lady.
Perfect.
Oh, speaking of merch lady, and speaking of Spilling Ink stuff, and I'm not being stupid. Well, I mean, I'm always being stupid, but I was looking because I wanted to get a men's T-shirt with our cat butt logo on it, and the only one I could find is the Ringer tees, and the Ringer tees don't fit right because they get washed once and then they start they're too tight and gross.
No, they're not too tight. You got way too much muscle.
No, dude, I'm too old to be rocking that look. I'm way too old for that. But
I mean, look at those biceps. Come on.
Sweatshirts.
Oh yeah, sweatshirts are good too.
I need one of those.
But yeah. Oh, hi kids. How are you guys?
Hey.
Hi.
Those sweatshirts too.
Actually, she is. Well, it's messy right now, but she is wearing some merch herself. Hold on, Hunter.
Let me see. Oh, hi, Hunter. Hi, buddy.
Hey.
Hunter,
I can't see it.
Let's see.
It's
see the little werewolf.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't see it.
I could just make it out.
Oh, it was this. Is it the same color as the sweatshirt?
No, it's black, but it's also. We can't get close enough to the camera right now. Hunter,
okay.
please stop.
Hi, Hunter. All right. Well, everybody listening or watching or whatever you're doing, if you just have your headphones on and maybe one headphone out and you're watching the TV at the same time, that's cool too, as long as it's The Mandalorian. That's it for tonight.
With the question you asked me, by the way, I am on Amazon.
Oh yes,
as you can see, again,
yes.
Agent Borne. I just deflect.
You do. And you know I have the mind of a squirrel, so I'm just like, oh, okay, let's go in that direction. Yes.
I am on Amazon. You can find my novels, my short stories. Again, The Minotaur Files is coming out in January. I'm very excited about that. And there's also a dinosaur book that I'm planning on releasing next year. I remember, Jason, you were very excited about it. I'm about to send you a picture of the cover so you can tease everybody with your reaction.
Yes. Ooh, are you sending to me right now
Yeah.
on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
That's a bad. I'm trying not to swear after bad. That's an awesome cover.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Wait, has this been publicly shared yet?
Not yet.
Ooh,
Not yet.
that's
I need to finish writing
awesome.
it, but the cover's there. It's keeping my inspiration going. So
yes, I
Yeah.
like it. I like. Oh, and Rebecca had a request there, so
Who's
hang
that
on,
person?
Rebecca. Hang on. There you go, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Tickets to the gun show.
Yes, I hope that made you happy.
I think you're beat.
Yes.
Yeah, you got some
Oh,
competition
wait,
there.
Hunter, keep that up there. Let me see, Hunter. Yes. Come on.
Oh.
What about you, Zoe? You got some guns?
Whoa, there.
Yeah.
My marshmallows exploded.
Awesome. Derek, what?
Well, I was actually going to ask, is it illegal to bring guns to a podcast?
Oh, nice. Look
Although
at that.
I had to take my shirt off, but I
He's
don't want to do that.
He's so smooth and sensuous.
I can't. Who's that person down there?
All right, guys, we're leaving. If you like this, share it around, like it, subscribe, whatever you want to do. We'll see you next week.
Who's the person that's earbuds in?
Do me a favor.
That's
say
me.
Thanks for watching. Spilling Ink.
I have watched earbuds in.
Say thanks
I'm
for
Derek.
watching.
No,
Thanks
wait,
for
earbuds.
watching Spilling Ink.
See ya.